welcome back to my channel. Welcome to my channel if you are new here. So in today's video I wanted to do a clean my pets with me. And in today's video we are also going to be cleaning my 4 giant African land snails and my 1 Indian stick insect. So without further ado, let's get on with today's video. So the first pet we are going to be cleaning today is Snowflake. So the first thing I'm going to do is just move his castle out the way. Okay, so now that Snowflake's castle is out the way, the next thing I'm going to do is pick up as much hay as I possibly can and basically just start to remove some of the objects around this area. Okay, so I've just picked up as much hay as I can from that corner. The rest of it I'm just going to suck it up the Hoover, which is over there next to the Snowbow. Okay, so hair and just like hay dust is flying everywhere right now. So I just tipped all of the hay and poop off of this blanket that he has under his castle. And the next thing I'm going to do is hoover that up. And I might try and pick up more of that hay because my hoover is already so full. So we're actually going to have to go and empty that. Okay, so I just went ahead and cleaned out the hoover and it was pretty bad. There was so much hay stuffed in it. So no wonder it wasn't working, but Snowflake is currently being a little bit gross and he's like eating the hay that came out the hoover. I don't know why he does that. I swear I give him so much hay and he eats all the old stuff. So he's a little bit weird. But anyway, let's go ahead and put my hoover back together and then try and hoover up that mess. Okay, so I just went ahead and put the hoover back. It lives under my desk. I haven't really shown you guys under that bit just yet, but yeah, so let's go ahead and try and hoover up that mess. And as I said, I'm going to try and pick up most of it because my hoover gets full pretty quickly with all this hay. It's not meant for that, so so let's go ahead and try and pick most of that up. Alright, so I just went and picked most of that up. Okay, so this is Snowflake's litter box area. I have puppy pads outside of his toilet. These are reusable puppy pads. I just got them off Amazon and I love these so much because they're really soft and of course they're reusable. If he hasn't peed on them, then I go ahead and I reuse them again without washing them. But of course, if he pees in it at all, then I go ahead and I wash them. Alright, so there's his toilet. Now Snowflake has a low cut litter box because he is getting on a little bit now in age and I wanted his toilet to be easily accessible so then he doesn't pee on my carpet. So Snowflake has actually been a really good boy and he has not peed on any one of these puppy pads and I've been gone for 4 days. So he has been such a good boy whilst I was away. He hardly made any mess, really. Like, he was really good. So anyways, next thing I'm going to do is hoover up this mess. And we've also got to clean Snowflake's toilet, which I'll do that towards the end of cleaning him. But of course we still have my snails and stick insects to do. I won't be cleaning out my fish. If you guys don't know, I have 5 fish tanks. But I will not be cleaning those out today as it's not water change day, so I don't want to do it unnecessarily. Let's get started with cleaning this up, and I'm going to try, as usual, to get most of the hay not to go in my hoover. Okay, so I've picked up like most that I can, so I'm now going to go ahead and hoover. Okay, so I've just finished hoovering my floor. So next thing I'm going to do is lay his fleece back down. Now, sometimes I will switch the fleece if he's peed on it or something, but today he hasn't peed on it, so I'm just going to put it back down because there's no point cleaning it if it hasn't been peed on. Sometimes if he hasn't peed on it for like months, I'll just change it anyway, just for something new. But I've only had this down here for like a week, so I'm just going to place the same one back down. So let's go ahead and do that. So here is his fleece. It's just like this grey one. So I'm just going to shake it out to make sure we get all the hay off and bedding. So with this one, I'm just going to literally lay it down. Now Snowflake has chewed on it. Don't know what is in frame, but Snowflake has chewed on it here a lot, but it's still fine to use. So I just put this bit at the back. So yeah, he likes to chew on fleece. Okay, so I just laid down his fleece. It looks white on camera, I feel, but it is grey in person. So next thing I'm going to do is put his castle back, and then I'm going to go ahead and put his toilet back, but we have got to clean it. Okay, so down here is where all the messiness is, but Snowflake is currently in his castle. Oh, and he came out to go into his dirty toilet. There he goes. Oh, there we go. But yeah, so we've got to move his castle back, but I think first he needs a little bit of a clean around that area. There's some poops and stuff, so I'm going to go ahead and clean that. So now it's just a little bit more clean. The next thing I'm going to do is move it back to where it was originally. There is Snowflake, just exploring. He loves it when I clean him out because it's like he gets to spend time with me, which I think he loves. So next thing I'm going to go ahead and do is place the puppy pads back down, the reusable one. Because that's where his hay pile is, he kind of gets confused sometimes that his hay pile is like where his toilet is, but it's not. So I placed that down in case he pees. You're doing a big good boy. He's licking he likes to lick literally everything. So he's just exploring. It's just a cat scratcher. He loves them. I'll show you guys this one over there. It's literally just demolished. Anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and refresh his water and then I'll be back. So I just went ahead and cleaned out his water bowl, and it's so full I'm going to spill it. I feel like every bunny owner, did I just spill it? Okay, I just spilled it a little bit. I feel like every bunny owner can relate that you can't bring the water bowl back to your rabbit without it spilling everywhere, because I fill mine up so full. He just loves it so much. It's so cute. Okay, so next thing I'm going to do is sort out that, which is his toilet. I'm going to go ahead and clean it outside. I need to get some more hay because I saw his hay outside. So I'll just be back once that is all done. Sorry you guys won't be able to see it though. Okay, so I'm back upstairs after cleaning out his toilet. So what I've done is I filled like half of it with hay at the back, and that bucket goes over there like you saw in the beginning of the video. But I'll show you guys the proper litter box setup. I store his litter in a cupboard. You cannot see it. That cupboard over there, well, that drawer over there. So I'll show you guys that as well. But let's go ahead and put that hay bucket back and just kind of sort out the hay in that toilet. Okay, so I've already stuffed this full. So half of it, this half is a hay called ryegrass. Ryegrass hay is like a really soft hay in my opinion. Snowflake loves it, so yeah, he is a really bad hay eater unfortunately, so I've had such a tough time trying to get him to eat hay, but I don't feed him pellets, which has helped a ton. But then obviously you have to feed him more veggies. But if you guys want a video on his diet and like his daily things that I feed him, I'd love to do a video on that because his diet is a little bit more complex than other bunnies. But anyways, so yeah, half of it ryegrass, half of it Timothy. And yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and pop his bucket back on the floor and he'll just demolish that. So let's get to his litter box setup. So this is like his hay bit, and then his litter goes at the back. Can you guys see him? I'm not sure if you can, but he's being really cute. The litter or bedding that I use is just Carefresh. Well, actually it's not Carefresh, it's by Small Pet Select, I think. But it's just an unscented, no like chemical free paper-based litter. Now in my opinion, paper-based litters like this work best for rabbits. It's not very odor control, it doesn't control odor well at all, but that just means you have to clean it a little bit more frequently. But it's so soft, like toilet paper. It's worked great for Snowflake because Snowflake unfortunately has sore hocks. He just in himself doesn't have a lot of fur on his hocks, which means unfortunately he has developed sore hocks. There's not many ways that you can avoid it, to be honest. Just keep them on really soft flooring. That's what I do. So I fill it half with hay and half with litter. So back there, there's like a wire, if you can see it goes right down there. That's why I have those CNC grids at the back to prevent him from chewing it, because Sevig is a cable chewer, so that's why it's there. Pop his toilet back in. It's a little bit of an awkward shape. But yeah, so here's his toilet setup. So here's Sevig just eating his new hay. Okay, so overall that's Snowflake's setup. So he has his toilet and ryegrass and Timothy hay back there, and then 2 puppy pads leading to his castle, which of course he loves. And then I have this grey mat beneath him to keep his hocks more comfortable. And then we have another puppy pad underneath the bucket, and obviously more hay, which I think is very much enjoying. And then just a cat scratcher and a bowl. And then if we turn this way, okay, so if you turn this way, we have even more bunny things. So I'll do a little bit of a tour. So we have this, which is his tunnel. He loves to just flop in there. It's his like favorite thing to do. But because this tunnel like rolls a lot, I have this, which is just a snugger bun underneath it. He didn't really use, well, he kind of used it, but not really. So I just put this tunnel on top of it to stop it from, to stop the tunnel from rolling. Then I just have a wicker tunnel, which you can only just fit in. You'll be surprised, but you can actually fit in that. And then we have this. So this was once a like chair. I got it from Pets at Home like a couple of years back. I got it a little while ago, but I didn't really use it. Then one day I found it in our like bunny shed that we have, and I decided to bring it out again, and he wrecked it. Like, look at that. He loves it so much. But you can tell it did have some reminiscence of a chair. But yeah, he loves it so much. He just demolishes that one. And then we have this one over here, which has a cat scratcher at the bottom. He's destroyed the back wall completely. And then on top we just have his basket with all of his toys in it. So we have like wicker balls, we have sticks, more types of balls, but yeah. Okay, so I think that's it for Snowflake's area. That's how I clean them out, and there's only one more thing that I have to do. So when I clean out Snowflake, I always give him a treat afterwards, because, I don't know, it's just like a thing that I always have done, and I just still do it. So I'm going to be feeding him these. The packet, I've had this packet for like a pretty long time, but these are the Herbie Hearts. So it's like herbs and apple. He loves them. He honestly will eat most treats. As you can tell, he knows the sound of these. So it's basically just a little heart. He knows his name, by the way. Good boy. You want a treat? Yes. Yes, you do. Okay, so that is everything for Snowflake's setup. So the next animal we are going to be cleaning is my Indian stick insect. So yes, this tank is quite small, and it's because I only have one in here, and she is a senior, so that her food is easier for her to find, considering she is really old now. I put a piece of fresh ivy in not that long ago to make sure that over holiday she would have nice fresh ivy, but I want to just clean the whole thing and get it all brand new. So this pot is going to be used for putting the eggs in to put into the freezer. This will be to put her in whilst her cage is being cleaned. This is toilet roll for, cleaning stuff, and also I use it at the bottom of her enclosure. And then I just have a spray bottle for hydration. And then I also have the ivy, which I can't show you guys because I'm going to have to put it on my floor. And the munchkin, who's in a flock, he would try and eat the ivy, and of course ivy is not good for rabbits. So the first thing we're going to do is start off by removing her and removing all the ivy in the enclosure. I'm going to go ahead and grab this pot, and this is what we're going to put her in. By the way, if you have a zip or if you have a zip on your enclosure, like I do, I don't want to tip her over, but if you have a zip, like I do right here, make sure that the stick insect is not near the zip, because that could possibly hurt your stick insect. So I made sure she wasn't anywhere near the lid or the opening. Oh, so as you see there, I just carefully tapped on her, and she just jumped off the side and went into stick form, which is obviously their defense mechanism. So she's just nicely in a stick shape. So I'm gonna very, very carefully pop her in this pot. Obviously I'm not gonna tip it, but she's not dead. That's just what they do as a defense mechanism. So I just put the lid on down there. So now that she's out, and of course there's no other stick insects in here, I can now take things out without worrying about hurting anyone. This is just a stick. I've had it for ages, honestly. And then I'm just going to take out the old ivy, and I'm just going to put it to the side, out the reach of Snowflake. Okay, so now that's out the reach of Snowflake, the next thing I'm going to do is take out the paper towel from the bottom. So the next thing I'm going to do is remove it. Now, even though she is old, she is still laying eggs, which sometimes they won't when they're old, and sometimes they will. So I kind of wanted to get a comparison of an egg versus poop. So as you can see, the egg is the one. So you see the egg is the one on the right, and the poop is the one on the left. So, so the egg is more round, and it also has a yellow tip. Now it's probably not going to show on camera very well. Right there is the yellow tip, which is the opening that the stick insect, when it hatches, will come out of. Now, considering her age, these eggs probably won't be that healthy. They might have a deformity and things like that. Although these eggs look pretty good, but yeah. I'm just going to tip all the eggs and leftover poop into the pot. I'm sorry that the angle is absolutely rubbish right now. But I'm just going to kind of make sure they're all out. So here's the pot, which has all the eggs, and I also freeze the poops with it. There's no point in separating them, so that's just what I do. So the next thing I'm going to do is now just lay out the fresh base. So I use paper towel for my base as my substrate, I guess, because I think that it just works really well, as it retains humidity, but not too much humidity like something like cocoa fiber would. But it retains enough humidity to keep them healthy. It's sanitary, easy to clean, and it's fairly cheap. So they're just some of the reasons why I use paper towel. And also, stick insects don't really spend much time at the bottom. It depends on your specific stick insect, but mine don't, so it doesn't really matter that the bottom is not something that they would naturally occur in the wild. Anyway, so the next thing I'm going to do is just simply pop the stick back in. Okay, so I have the fresh piece of ivy, as you can see. I'm just going to check it over for any bird poop. So as you see on this leaf, it's a bit dirty, and sorry, my camera's not fixing. So you can see on this leaf, it's a little bit dirty, and I don't really want that in her enclosure, so I'm just going to bin that. And if I see any others that have been like half-eaten or anything, I'll go and pick those up as well. Okay, so I just went in and swapped over the pieces because I preferred that one. And now what I'm going to do is give it a very good spray. And that's really the enclosure done. That's all that I'm going to go do. And that's really the enclosure done. It's a little bit hard to get a good focus on camera, but let me just quickly show you guys the inside. I know it looks a little bit messy, but that's what she likes. So tip her, but there she is. This is a very, very old one. She is about a year and a couple of months, which is quite old for an Indian stick insect. And there she is. So as I say, she's in stick form. When she comes out, she's a lot bigger. But yeah. So seeing as she is in stick form, I'm going to go ahead and carefully place her at the base of the enclosure. So I'm not sure if you guys can see, but I'm just really carefully placing her at the base of the enclosure. So she is now just down there, and when you put the ivy in, sometimes it will move, the paper towel at the bottom will move a little bit. That's absolutely fine. Okay, so the next animal we're going to be cleaning is my snails. So I have 4 giant African land snails, and next to them is the stick insect that we just cleaned right there. But yeah, so here are my 4 giant land snails. Now, I kind of want to do a makeover of this tank, so this section is probably going to be quite long, if the rest hasn't been already. But yes, I wanted to do a little bit of a makeover of this tank, add some more foliage, and I really want to put a light on this tank just to spruce it up a bit. And they also need fresh food and all that stuff. So first, let's go in and remove the giant African land snails. Okay, so please excuse all the dirt up the sides of the box that they're in, but these are my 4 giant African land snails. So we have Ash and Austin, and then these 2 are unnamed. So if you have any name suggestions, please pop them in the comments down below, because I need to find names for these 2. They're so cute. And yeah, sorry about the dirt, by the way. They just track dirt everywhere because, well, they're snails. So the next thing I'm going to do is just remove stuff out of this tank. Now, oh, there we go. That's much better. So here is their enclosure. The lighting just fixed itself up. So the next thing I'm going to do is just remove the water dish and all the decorations. So I'll be back with you guys once that's all done. Okay, so quite a lot has happened since I've updated you guys, so I'm so sorry for that. I just kind of like got on with it without worrying about filming, and then I just thought I'd film a tour at the end of their enclosure. So here it is. So this enclosure is just like an Exoterra. I can't remember what size it is, but it's pretty big. I've just added an LED light at the top, which is just right above here, so you can kind of see it right there. And yes, I just added that at the top. And then let me give you a tour of what's inside. So first up is the calcium dish. So this dish contains chopped up pieces of cuttlebone or cuttlefish, and some eggshells which I've sanitized, taken the membrane out, and all that stuff. Then if you move over to the left, here, we have their salad. So today they're getting chopped up carrots, romaine lettuce, and some potato as well. And then I just have like a bunch of pieces of cork bark just like scattered everywhere. And then if we go in here, this is their water dish, which I've placed right in the middle, and with some sphagnum moss around it. And then at the back we just have some fake plants. So yeah, that's just all down the back. Then they have a cave here and a cave there. And that's really their whole enclosure. I'm really happy that I decided to clean it, because it was definitely getting a little bit dirty and was definitely in need of a good clean. So yeah, let's see how the snails like their new home. So I'm not actually going to hold them on my hand because I haven't cleaned my hands, but here is one. This is one of the ones that we need to name, so please drop any names, suggestions in the comments down below. But here he is. My camera is not focusing, so I'm really sorry, but oh, there we go. He's so cute. So I'm just going to really carefully place him down. And there's one. And then we have the 3 others down here. So first up is Austin, which is right here. He's pretty difficult to see. But I'm going to go ahead and pop him in as well. I'm sorry, I'm just struggling to get the other snails out the bin. Okay, so these 2 are actually just like climbing on each other's shell. But you have Ash and then another unnamed one. So we're going to go ahead and carefully pop those 2 in. So yeah, they're just climbing on one another's shell. They always do that, but don't worry, they're not rasping each other's shell or anything. They have enough calcium that they don't do that. So this is their whole enclosure. So we're just gonna... I love the way this enclosure turned out. And yeah, that's basically it. So thank you guys so much for watching today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. This is going to be quite a long video, I feel. Thank you everyone so much for watching. I've really enjoyed making today's video and I hope to make more vlogs in the future. As always, please subscribe and put any suggestions in the comments down below, video ideas and names for 2 of my giant African land snails. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye! Okay, this is like gonna go into the bloopers, but doesn't he kind of look like a bean? Like, look at him. He's so cute. I love his little feet. Like, he is so adorable. At the end of this video, by the way, there will be some bloopers. So I guess this is gonna start off the bloopers. But he's so cute. Look at his little... Oh my god, I can't believe I just caught that. He is literally a loaf of bread right now. That is so cute. Oh my god.